Okay. Hopefully we're live. Let's double check. I feel like let's see. Okay, I think we're live. Okay. I am so excited to be here. I'm grateful that we're actually live, and I want to make sure it looks like my volume is on. It looks like my camera is on. All the things. Whoo! I just want to do a double check. Yes. Okay. I scheduled this and then I went in there and it wasn't scheduled. See, that's what happens. It's so crazy. So we sometimes have to do checks and we sometimes have to do balances. But we are here on July 14th. So we have one more day for you to qualify for the 300 by the 15th prize. And I wanted to do a shout out because we had some girls that turned in their weekly accomplishment sheets. So let's see. Shout out to Sylvia Hess. Shout out to Olivia. And you guys, let's do a big shout out to our Queen of Sales last week, turning in her weekly accomplishment sheet. And that is Patricia Suarez with $380 in sales last week. Give her a hand. She's the queen. That is excellent. And she also ordered 300 by the 13th. So she has earned the special training with National Sales Director Kristen Sharp. So congratulations. That was crazy because I thought it was 300 by the 15th also. And it was like, whoop, it's the 13th. It's the 13th. So very, very excited about that. And I want to, let's just see if I can hold these. Okay. So as a reminder, we have the year-end party on Sunday. So I need to get some RSVPs with your $10 so that I have a head count for food and all the things. If we end up having a smaller group, I think we probably could just have it in my backyard. So just RSVP to me and let me know if you want to Zelle or Venmo the $10. And then I had told you guys you could bring a guest for free. So just let me know again, so I have a head count. I also have something for everybody that's coming. So I need to know who's coming. So please let me know by Wednesday with your $10 so I can plan accordingly, because I'm really excited to get together with all of you and to celebrate you and all the wonderful things, So I did talk, I don't know if it was last week or I think it was the week before. We talked about the vision workshop, that there was a video that you could watch, and then there were 3 different things that you could download. And this is actually like a coaching call preparation sheet. So this is something to fill out. And then when we talk, we can go over this, just like 1, 2, 3. And this is something that we can do monthly. But I'd love to just kind of get one of these from everybody just for a beginning of the new year kind of thing, a goal setting. And that is in the Lisa's Leading Ladies page. And if you need a link for this, you could just let me know and I can email it to you. I think I emailed one to Faye. So I know I couldn't not print it, but I was not able to put it in the group as a PDF. For some reason, my Facebook, like it lets me put JPEGs, but not PDFs anymore. Like it just changed randomly. So I can email this if for some reason you can't open it yourself to print out. And that's that. All right. And then as a reminder, these are the colors that we'll be phasing out in the new catalog that's coming out. And remember, we have until the end of the month to do our preferred customer. So because they're getting rid of the holiday catalog, that extra catalog, they've sort of pushed this. I'm just not sure who's doing what at Mary Kay, but they pushed this back. So it normally would be like around July 17th, and then the catalog would come out at the beginning of August. But we're actually having a 1 month delay because they're combining the next catalog with the holiday catalog. So we have until the end of the month to get our preferred customer program set up, and then the catalog will actually come out in September. Okay, so it's going to be mailed out, should be mailed out around the 8th or so of September. They keep saying that. We're just going to keep going with that. But these are the colors that will be getting discontinued. So reach out to your customers that use these colors. If there's a color that you love, like I love Sweet Plum. So if your color's here, stock up. That's all I have to say. Stock up. Okay, now let's go back here and let me see. So there's something new that is kind of a take on something old. How many of you remember the 40 customer binder? There was a training maybe like 2 years ago about that. Anybody? About getting 40 new customers. So let me see if I have. I thought I had it open. I was trying to have it open for you guys to see if I could. Oh, yes. Here we go. All right. All right. Let's see if this will work. All right. I am going to remove this. And I'm going to remove this. Remove this. And then let me see if it will let me share the screen. All right, let's see if it'll work. Let me see. Okay, I think it's going to work. Okay, I think you guys are.
$1 million sales director in Rockford, Illinois, and I am thrilled to come to you today with this idea called 45 to Thrive. This is all about building 45 customers who use $1,000 of products a year that add up to $45,000 retail to put you on the national court of sales, earning your diamond ring and bringing extra income into your family. Now, you might think this idea looks kind of familiar if you've looked into some of the tools that are attached to this. It is similar to the 40 customer binder that made its way across much of the Mary Kay world in the past 4 years since I released those videos. And I shared on those videos that it originated from this old but timeless training that I came across one time from this brilliant director that I had never met, but I had wanted to give credit where credit was due. Well, her name is Brenda Howell, who I have since met, and she is just as beautiful as she is brilliant. And I'm so grateful to have seen that training from long ago. And now a huge thank you to Erin Marlowe, who has made this part of her Go Give collection so we can share all of this with the Mary Kay world. She has changed a lot of the tools that goes with it and has put it on Canva so you can go in and make any changes that you want. All right, so Binder. That's the first thing. I want you to grab a binder that you love to look at because you will be looking at it. You want it to bring you joy when you see it, that you want to open it and want to work with your binder. You might change your binder often. I have had the same binder for 4 years. It must be made pretty well because it's holding up well for as much as it's been used. But I might end up changing it. You just never know. The other thing you could do is Erin made this great cover page. So you could always put it in a clear binder and just have the Thrive 45 to Thrive just on the front of it there too. So, okay, so let's get into the 25 products that we're specifically talking about. And there is a list that is in there. Now, these 25 products you could change around and you will notice as you look at them that you're like, Tandy, like, they should use a lot more product than that, or they would use more than that in a year if they're using it consistently. You are totally right, which should also make you realize how simple it could be to get 45 customers to use $1,000 of product a year. What this also shows you is that if they're not getting it from you, they're getting it from somewhere else. And so the goal is to have all of your customers thinking of only you when they run out of anything skincare, any supplement, any color, any body care, any fragrance. We want them thinking of you because the more they order and the more reorders, the more they're going to think of you. All right, so let's talk about these 25 specific items. So the first is 2 TimeWise Miracle Sets. Okay, so 2 sets in a whole year, that's probably not going to fully last, right? But again, we're going low on this. You also might have more customers like I do that use the Volufarm TimeWise Repair than they do Miracle Set. Well, great. That'll help you get to the 1,000 even that much faster. So go ahead and just mark that the same way you would the TimeWise Miracle Set. I have 1 replenishing serum C+E, 1 box of hydrogel eye patches, 1 microdermabrasion plus set. That could also be a peel in that line. 2 oil-free eye makeup removers, 2 micellar waters, 1 satin lip set, 1 gel mask or charcoal mask, 2 foundation primers, 1 under eye corrector or concealer, 2 CC creams, which could also be foundation. So if they use that, mark it in the same place. 1 silky setting powder or translucent powder, 1 Clinical Solutions Retinol 0.3, 1 Clinical Solutions Booster, 1 Perfect Palette. That is the only non-consumable item in the entire list, but it's there on purpose to help you to remember to get your skincare customers on basic color as well. Now, if you are completing that, you're doing this year after year, you might change that out for that specific customer that already has the palette. Now do they have brushes? Do they have something else in that spot? You'll also see a blush, a contour, a liquid eyeshadow, 3 ChromaFusion eyeshadows, 2 waterproof eyeliners, 2 ultimate mascaras. I know they should change them every 3 months, but just in case, 2 on there. And it could be any mascara. 2 lipsticks, which could also be a lip gloss or another lip product. 1 waterproof lip liner, 2 precision brow liners or brow tints, and 1 balancing toner. Now, all of these items add up to $1,000. So again, it can be adjusted, but those are just really basic ones that I feel like every customer either they're already using it or they should be using it. It would be something anyone and everyone could use. So let's think about that. Again, if you have 20 or 45 customers using those 25 specific products that add up to $1,000, you guys, that is the national quota sales. That is earning your diamond ring. It's bringing in $18,000 to $22,500 of product into your family every single year. That is huge. And that is a reason in itself to be doing this tracking. Now, why do I give that range? Well, 22,500 is half of 45,000. However, we teach 60-40 split in Mary Kay. So you're taking 60% to put back in. That's going to cover your samples that I'm going to teach you how to use in an upcoming video. It's going to help to pay for your preferred customer program. So in that range would be the profit that comes from that. Another thing I'm going to teach you to do in the upcoming videos, and there'll be a few to follow this one. One is to learn about each and every single one of these products on their own. So you'll want to pull up the product fact sheet from Mary Kay In Touch and learn about these, print them off, have it in your binder so you can learn it, study it. Make sure you are personally using all of the products that are on this list, because when we use the products and we love them, we sell them from experience and with more passion. This will also help you to know what products to stock for demos. So all of these products, your customers should be trying a bunch of them when they sit down with you for a one-on-one facial. If it's somebody from a distance or from that you're going to use samples with, you want to make sure you're ordering those samples from Mary Kay and Touch. And again, I'll teach you how to use the coupons with those in the upcoming videos, even if they do live close by. This is also going to help you to do even next level customer service, because all of this binder and everything about it is to help you to give the best customer service available to your customers, because we know that when you give great customer service, you will immediately stand out from the rest, especially in these days. And again, we want your customers to think of only you with all of their skincare and beauty needs. But next level will come from you knowing exactly what your customers use. And now you can make sure you have those items stocked in your inventory. So when they run out and they need another one, you have it right there immediately ready to go. So I cannot wait to see just how this impacts your business. And when you have these products on hand that they are trying first, we know that when they try, they tend to buy, right? Because they feel it on their skin. They see the difference, feel the difference, and the product just sells itself. So we want to make this simple. We want to make this easy on you and just a natural flow that comes from giving great customer service. I have loved hearing from those of you that have used the binder in the past few years, just how this has impacted your business, and can't wait to see how this will impact your business, this 45 to Thrive, here in the year to come and beyond. So just to help you to hit that quarter of sales, I can't wait to hear how many are crossing that seminar stage just from implementing this, in addition to all the other amazing things that you already do. I am confident for your customers right now. So can't wait to hear all about it. And I will see you on the next video.
All righty. Let me stop sharing. There we go. So I'm excited. Are you guys excited to get 45 new customers in the next year that will consistently reorder from you and start purchasing more and more and more and become loyal customers? And isn't that exciting when you think about 45 customers purchasing over the year $1,000 from you? That will allow you to be in the Queen's Court of Sales. That's kind of exciting, All right, so we are going to get started this week with chapter 1 of the Miracle Equation. Now, I'm not going to read the foreword to you, so if you've already purchased the book, whether you're listening to it on Audible or whether you got it as a physical book or in a Kindle, you can read the forward yourself. And we're going to just jump right in to chapter 1, which is taking the mystery out of miracles, moving from mythical to measurable. Miracles are not contrary to nature, but only contrary to what we know about nature. And that is from St. Augustine. Miracles, they're kind of mysterious, right? I mean, isn't that part of the appeal? Not knowing exactly how certain seemingly imperceptible events have lined up perfectly to save someone's life or deliver their wildest dream right to their front door. However, this mysterious nature also creates a problem with the way that we perceive miracles. I once saw a segment on the Today Show titled Skydiving Miracle, Man Falls 2 Miles, about a skydiving instructor, Michael Holmes, who fell 14,000 feet when his parachute failed to open. As the ground below raced toward him, he tried to release the parachute, but he couldn't. He tried to cut it free, but it didn't work. In a last-ditch effort to save his own life, he pulled the reserve parachute, but it didn't release. In the final 700 feet that he spent free falling through the air, he resigned himself to dying. Amazingly, he didn't die. Relatively speaking, his injuries were fairly minor. And have you heard Donnie Register's story? It was all over the news as Donnie's Miracle, and Oprah.com even featured it as a real-life miracle. Donnie was standing behind the cash register in his own antique store when a gunman fired a shot at his head. Donnie threw his hands up in front of his face. The bullet bounced off Donnie's gold wedding band, which deflected the shot, and he miraculously dodged what should have been sudden death. Over the years, I've heard of miraculous health recoveries where there seemed to be no other effort made except heavy doses of hope, and even of long-lost sweethearts who mysteriously crossed paths decades after they parted ways. All of these stories are intriguing and awe-inducing at the same time. In all fairness, stories like these can be called miracles, but for many folks, and you may be one of them, it's miracles like these that give all miracles a bad name. Miracle non-believers assume that extraordinary events happen only to other people. They believe that all miracles are elusive, mythical, random, lucky, and out of reach. Totally unrealistic and unpredictable. They just don't happen in real life, not to them at least. I used to feel the same way. I mean, if we could simply think up a seven-figure check to be waiting for us in our mailbox, wouldn't everyone be a millionaire? Miraculous health recoveries would be the norm, and that difficult client or coworker, the one who's constantly spiking your blood pressure, he or she might just disappear. If you fall into this camp, you probably think that you have to see it to believe it. Being skeptical can be a good thing. You're doing what we all should be doing, thinking critically, evaluating and questioning everything, going in search of the truth. I approach things the same way, and I don't expect anything less of you. However, there is a potentially devastating downside to skepticism that we all need to be aware of and be cautious of. It can easily turn into cynicism. It can tip us into an unhealthy level of distrust and limit the possibilities that are otherwise available to us. As you'll learn in this book, there are actually two different types of miracles, and it's not really fair or beneficial to blend them together. The miracles that we've described above are what you might call passive or random miracles, those that occur by chance. We marvel at their unbelievable nature, but there is no definitive way to explain them, let alone repeat them. And I'm sure that skydiving instructor and Donnie Register would prefer not to endure those experiences ever again. They can be seen as random coincidences. If you would like to create these kinds of miracles, which often include a pray and wait approach, I'm sorry, but I don't have much advice for you. They're not the kind of miracles that we will be discussing in this book. This book is about the kind of tangible, measurable miracles that require your active participation in producing them. They're more akin to making your biggest, scariest, and most improbable goals come true. These are the types of miracles that you have a significant degree of control over, meaning that you can consistently create them again and again in your life because you will understand how the process works. But to create that kind of miracle, first you must believe that the result you're seeking is possible and that you can produce it. If you fell into the skeptics group above, I would urge you to suspend your disbelief just for a moment so that you can explore what else might be possible for you, at least while you read this book. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to convince you to believe something unreasonable. What I'm trying to do is open your mind to the possibility of something new, a second kind of miracle that you have the power to create at will. In this chapter, we will define what tangible, measurable miracles are for the purposes of our conversation, and then dive into exactly how these types of miracles unfold so that you too can create uncommon results. Then it will be up to you if you want to believe. Anyone can create tangible, measurable miracles. When it comes to miracles, there are some questions that could be helpful for us to consider, such as, are miracles experienced only by special or chosen individuals? Do miracles occur only at random? Are miracles created by God or some other mysterious higher intelligence? Or could it be that we're each born with a limitless potential and capabilities far greater than we believe in ourselves? What if that's why some people are wildly successful? Because they figured out how to tap into that dormant potential that every single one of us was born with. What if you realized that you're only a decision or two away from tapping into that potential? A realization like this would change the way you approach the size and scope of the goals you're willing to set and the life you live. It would raise the bar on what it means to be average. If average were to become extraordinary. Imagine if you and every person you know began actualizing his or her full potential. If each of us were to discover how to overcome our self-imposed limitations and begin creating everything we want for our lives while making a profound impact in the world. What if we all became miracle mavens? What is a miracle maven? The word maven comes from the Yiddish word mevin and the Hebrew word mevhin, meaning one who understands. Though the word miracle has several definitions, the most useful one for us as we move forward, found in the English Oxford Living Dictionary, is a remarkable event or development that brings very welcome consequences. Miracle mavens encompass these two definitions in one body. If you were to think about it, I'm sure you could come up with a few people who are living close to their full potential and seem to have a knack for bringing their visions into reality. Whether you know them personally or admire them from afar, these individuals never let anyone, including themselves, talk them out of their grand ideas. They seem to have an unlimited well of creativity and perseverance. Opportunities abound for these folks. You may wonder how or why they're always so lucky, but what if luck played only a teeny tiny part in their overall success at all? Throughout history, there have been many people who actively created tangible, measurable miracles. U.S. President John F. Kennedy, who envisioned putting a man on the moon, and the civil rights leader Martin Luther King, who imagined a free and equal America for all people, are examples of people, individuals, who intentionally and actively created miracles. While others prayed and waited for those results to happen, JFK and MLK went out and made it happen. They succeeded in transforming seemingly impossible ideas into tangible reality. They followed their visions as far as they could, and in doing so, created extraordinary new realities. By tapping into their abilities, they became miracle mavens. Because becoming a miracle maven is just that, a way of being, when you live with unwavering faith and put forth extraordinary effort, you are a miracle maven. Notable miracle mavens come from all walks of life, and their accomplishments and the pathways they forged come in every imaginable permutation. Many you know simply because their accomplishments have made such a significant impact on our world. Well-known miracle mavens include Henry Ford, who gave us transportation by car; Marie Curie, who developed the theory of radioactivity and was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the first person to be granted that prestigious award twice; Bill Gates, who put personal computers into millions of homes and offices around the world; Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean; Neil Armstrong, who walked on the moon; LeBron James, who gave the city of Cleveland a miracle when he led the Cavaliers to win the city's first championship in a major professional sport in more than 60 years; Michael Phelps, who became an Olympian at age 15 and went on to win 23 gold medals; Steve Jobs, who put thousands of songs into our pockets and made smartphones the norm; Elon Musk, who is constantly creating technological miracles that help move humanity forward. From the beginning of time, otherwise ordinary people have catapulted themselves beyond the limits of what was thought to be possible. They too have had to overcome the same types of fears and insecurities that chain us all. We are all born with unlimited potential, but these people have figured out how to tap into it. When you discover how to do the same, everything changes. Though the circumstances that each of us were born into vary from person to person, the unlimited human potential that each of us is born with is universal. In fact, There are countless stories of individuals who were born into challenging conditions, yet found a way to turn their lives into something extraordinary. You may be familiar with some of them. The author J.K. Rowling was broke and nearly destitute when she wrote the first Harry Potter book, which ultimately turned into a series and several blockbuster movies, theme park rides, toys, clothing, video games, and more. It secured her spot in the exclusive Billionaires Club. Jay-Z grew up poor in Brooklyn's housing project before moving on to become a world-famous rapper and a business tycoon. His empire includes real estate, sports bars, clothing, beverages, and even beauty products, just to name a few. Oprah Winfrey had a childhood filled with poverty and abuse and became one of the most successful and wealthy women in the world. Now, with a commitment to paying her success forward and helping future generations make their way out of poverty, she has donated more than $150 million to charitable causes that help underprivileged girls. The actor Sylvester Stallone was homeless for brief periods as he worked his way up from bit acting parts to his breakout role in Rocky, which he also wrote. The Rocky franchise went on to become one of the most successful of all times. I just saw something the other day too, and at the end, he wrote it also, like he's still writing screenplays. The list could continue with enough real-life examples to fill this entire book. What I hope you're realizing is that your external circumstances do not confine you, just as your past does not dictate your future. You will first need to envision your ideal future, see it clearly, and then establish the belief that it is possible. We'll spend a lot of time discussing how to do exactly that in the coming pages. Then you must begin to move toward it. That's what the folks listed above did. They decided that what they wanted was possible. They figured out what they needed to do to make it probable. And then they continued giving it everything they had until their success became inevitable. You can absolutely do the same. Remember, the goal you decide to tackle does not necessarily have to be world-changing. It can be as big or small, as easy or complicated as you like. The key is that it must be meaningful to you. That significance will serve as your driver. In the Miracle Morning, I described a concept called Level 10 Success, which is simply the ideal that we all aspire to live. If you were to measure success in any area of your life on a scale of 1 to 10, you would likely want to be a 10. In every area. Level 10 health, level 10 happiness, level 10 wealth, you name it. However, since human potential is unlimited, the objective is not necessarily to reach level 10. It's simply to wake up every day and invest time into becoming a better version of the person you were when you went to bed the night before. When you focus each day on leaning into your limitless potential and moving towards level 10 success in every area of your life, opportunities will become more abundant. You will discover the source of true fulfillment. As we strive toward level 10 success, the challenge is to find the balance between being happy and grateful and seeing the perfection of where we are now while following the innate human desire to grow and improve. The key is not to come from a place of I'm not good enough, but rather from I am limitless and I have more to give. It's a subtle yet radical difference. It's a difference that miracle mavens live by. Miracle mavens set themselves apart because they're always reaching for something higher than their definition of level 10 success. They maintain an unwavering belief in themselves and expect that what they want in their life will come to be. But they don't take a passive role in their pursuits. They don't stare at the vision board or mindlessly repeat affirmations and then wonder why nothing is happening. When you live as a miracle maven, you think and act differently from the majority of people. Whereas most people habitually allow their fear and self-doubt to consume their thinking, miracle mavens choose to override fear with faith. They have a foundational mindset that they can and will win at everything they do, while simultaneously being willing to accept when they don't win and quickly moving on. That way, they can take advantage of more opportunities. Even if it means they will fail some of the time, they still have more chances to win. Simon Sinek expressed a similar sentiment when he said, "Champions are not the ones who always win races. Champions are the ones who get out there and try harder the next time." Champion is a state of mind. They are devoted. They compete to best themselves as much, if not more, than they compete to best others. Miracle mavens also behave differently. They understand that they must put forth effort to get results. They don't seek the easy way. They're willing to do what's necessary to earn what it is that they want. However, they also value efficiency. So they're always learning and they're always figuring out tips, tricks, and even shortcuts to get themselves to their goal faster. I know this not only from observation, but also from experience. In later pages, you will read how I used the miracle equation to walk again after being pronounced dead in a car accident, turned my financial situation around after near collapse, and survived a dismal cancer prognosis. I did nothing more than make and maintain the two decisions that this book is based on. Creating miracles is your decision. Self-help books have given us countless answers to what holds us back from the lives we want. It's our habits, it's our beliefs, it's our circle of influence, our level of confidence, our energy, the law of attraction, time management, emotional intelligence, our education or lack thereof. It's all a little overwhelming. However, I believe we can simplify hundreds of answers into two straightforward decisions that will make or break your success and determine whether you will live the rest of your life as a miracle maven. There are two decisions that we consciously fail to make over and over again that hold us back from accomplishing what we want to do. They are the decision to maintain unwavering faith and the decision to put forth extraordinary effort. What prevents anyone from creating the life they truly want is that either they lack faith that they can do it, or they don't put forth the necessary effort. That's it. And then many people don't do either. I realize that this sounds simple, maybe even too simple, but let's explore this. Decision 1, unwavering faith. Although you can call faith by another name, belief, confidence, or conviction, simply put, those who create extraordinary lives do so by establishing the faith that they can, and they continue to reinforce and maintain that faith until they create what they desire. Thus, their faith is unwavering. This defies human nature, in which our faith tends to be influenced by our past and present results and circumstances. Establishing faith that you can overcome or accomplish something that you've never overcome or accomplished before requires you to venture outside your comfort zone. It requires that you see yourself as better than you've ever been and envision a possibility that may lack evidence that it's actually possible. Establishing such faith isn't normal or natural, and it certainly isn't automatic. Establishing faith in your most limitless capabilities requires a conscious, deliberate decision to do so. Maintaining that faith isn't natural either. Nearly all worthwhile accomplishments are obtained only after a myriad of obstacles and setbacks have been overcome. For many people, obstacles and setbacks cause their faith to waver and their pursuit of what they want to halt, which leads us to the second decision that you will need to create miracles. Decision 2, extraordinary effort. Though you can also find a variety of synonyms to replace effort, work, productivity, exertion, or action, ultimately those who achieve meaningful goals and live level 10 lives do so by putting forth the necessary and typically extraordinary effort until they create their desired outcomes. You will learn in a later chapter that extraordinary effort isn't necessarily hard work, but it does require energy on your part. What makes the effort extraordinary is that it is sustained over an extended period of time, and without it, you will have nothing to fuel your faith. Unfortunately, this type of effort is also unnatural. We often choose short-term pleasure at the expense of long-term success and fulfillment. Doing so causes us to put forth the minimal amount of effort necessary to remain safe and within our comfort zone. It prevents us from doing what's right, since doing what's easy is so much, easier. Human nature confines the majority of our society to circumstances such as earning enough money to keep from losing the roof over our head, but not enough to get ahead. We eat foods chosen purely for their taste and texture that provide us with short-lived moments of pleasure while robbing us of a lifetime of vibrant health and energy. We hold on to jobs that we find unfulfilling and companies that provide us with what we perceive to be a secure paycheck, instead of pursuing goals and dreams that could earn us a fortune and award us the financial freedom we desire. I do realize that I'm asking you to make two decisions that will run counter to your basic instincts. In case you're wondering how you're going to defy your inborn human nature, bear with me. We will cover how to overcome these instincts so that in time, these decisions can become automatic and natural. The unwavering faith and extraordinary effort feedback loop. We've all been there. We're all jazzed up about a new goal we've set. We have a clear vision in our mind of what it will look and feel like to accomplish the goal. We know exactly what we have to do to get there, and we believe it's possible. We take our first steps, we are cruising along, and then suddenly, thud. We hit an obstacle we weren't even expecting. Results aren't happening as quickly as we'd hoped. Maybe no one is getting back to you on those resumes you sent out. Maybe your boss put you into a new project just when you were planning to use your free time to work out or start your own blog. Maybe you've launched your new product, but the sales aren't rolling in at the rate you were expecting. It's at times like these that sticking with the miracle equation is challenging. The bigger the obstacle thrown in front of you, the more discouraged you may feel. This is when you are the most vulnerable to throwing the equation out the window and going back to life as you know it. When you don't see the results you expect, i.e. want, it's natural to let your faith waver. And as soon as you've lost your faith, the effort that is necessary to achieve your goal disappears right behind it. I'm sure you've asked yourself once or even twice, what's the point of even trying when I simply don't believe that reaching my goal is likely? Unwavering faith and extraordinary effort each pulls its own weight, and they also support each other. Instead of viewing them as two distinct lines of action, it's more realistic to view them as a circle or a wheel. They work together. When you establish unwavering faith that you can reach a goal, you create the internal drive necessary to propel yourself into action, which is your extraordinary effort. That effort then feeds into a sense of deservingness that fuels more faith. When you are plugged into both, the equation works. But if you fall off track with one, the process will come to a grinding halt. They function as feedback for each other. When you approach your life, your goals, your dreams, and even your relationships with unwavering faith, and you put forth extraordinary effort, you'll keep the feedback loop going. That's how you create miracles again and again. That is how you live your life as a miracle maven. Putting the mystery back into miracles. I know. We just took the mystery out of miracles. Well, now we're going to put a little bit back in. This is because when you actively override your fear and self-doubt with unwavering faith, and you release the unproductive habits or lazy tendencies that have been preventing you from putting forth extraordinary effort, you immediately tap into your full capabilities and you start seeing opportunities and synchronicities all around you. Achieving what you set out to do will become second nature. From the outside looking in, it often looks like luck. People observe miracle mavens with a sense of awe, and they sometimes even envy, thinking, geez, everything just flows for them. They're so lucky. People with strong religious or spiritual beliefs will likely attribute success to God or some other higher power, and skeptics will dismiss it as a random coincidence. Call it what you want. Credit whomever you like, but don't question it. Embrace it. See the truth and the simplicity in it, and remember that when you set out to achieve a massive dream or create an extraordinary result, aka a miracle, you can't know what the journey to get there will look like. Just know that it will include all sorts of unexpected paths, challenges, relationships, and lessons that will guide you to new opportunities, which will in turn teach you lessons that will lead you to more new opportunities. You can't predict when and how luck will show up for you, but you can rest assured that the more you live by the miracle equation, the luckier you will get. The more you're willing to put yourself out there and attempt to create miracles by putting forth extraordinary effort and maintaining unwavering faith over an extended period of time, the more unpredictable and invaluable resources will show up in your life. That's when people will start looking at you thinking, geez, everything flows for them. They're so lucky. I'm telling you from experience, both my own and that of the people you're about to meet throughout this book, that when you live in alignment with the miracle equation, miracles, results beyond what you thought were possible, do begin to show up, and almost always in unexpected ways. Unseen forces and resources beyond your current realm of awareness that you could never have predicted or planned for come to your aid to co-create each miracle. They often show up in the form of unexpected opportunities or people, or simply being in the right place at the right time. I hear your inner skeptic rising to the surface. Come on, Hal, unseen forces and resources beyond the current realm of awareness. I hear you. It does seem a little out there. Even so, it's a leap you must take. It's the same leap that every miracle maven took at some point in his or her life, which is why we consistently hear successful people credit luck as playing a role in their success. Sometimes it is necessary to believe in what you cannot see. I invite you to have faith in the magic and the miracles of life, for only those who do get to experience them. As I stated earlier, the miracle equation is simple to explain, but few people understand how to execute it. The two decisions, unwavering faith and extraordinary effort, are not complicated to understand, and when combined and sustained, they produce astounding outcomes. However, the execution of these two decisions is anything but straightforward, as both require that we consciously defy our natural tendencies, both inherent and learned. This is why only a relatively small percentage of our society understands how to apply this formula to create extraordinary results, and why an even smaller group has been able to do so time after time. In this smaller group of miracle mavens that I'm inviting you to join, a group in which unwavering faith has become the default way of thinking and extraordinary effort has become ordinary and automatic, you now know the elements necessary to create a tangible, measurable miracle. It's up to you if you want to go further and understand how to apply them. In the next chapter, I'm going to walk you through how I stumbled upon the miracle equation, created my very first tangible, measurable miracle, and began teaching others to do the same. Let's look at where and how this idea all began. Ooh, there was a little story in between here, and I'll just go back and read that real quick. It's called The Miracle Equation in Action, and it's just a story about a person that used the miracle equation. So Rob Dial was one of my first coaching clients back in 2006 and has since become a friend and colleague. He's used the miracle equation in a remarkable way, not only to gain financial freedom, but also to make a significant impact in the world. Every year, my longtime friend and business partner, John Berghoff, whom you will meet later in the book, and I host the Best Year Ever live experience, an event that takes people through a revolutionary process that sets them up to ensure their next 12 months of their life are literally the best 12 months of their life. It was during one of these events that Rob realized his purpose in life was to teach people how to free themselves from their own suffering that they had created by holding themselves back from reaching their true potential. Shortly after that realization, he started his first podcast, and with 8 weeks, he had more than 100,000 downloads. Rob was thrilled, but still had a job he loved with a 6-figure salary. He knew he couldn't do both, so he used his unwavering faith in himself and his mission to leave his job and focus full-time on his life's purpose. He used extraordinary effort to figure out how to create content that people would love and share, and within 14 months, he had grown a social media following of over 1 million people. In 2017 alone, his Facebook page had more than 500 million views of the videos and content that he had produced. And as for the 6-figure job he left behind, he was able to replace his income within 14 months, and in his second full year, he made 300% more than his previous year's salary. Rob experienced firsthand what it means to apply the miracle equation and become a miracle maven. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed chapter 1. Let's see. And I'm just going to pray for y'all if you want to hang on in. All right. So, dear Heavenly Father, we are just grateful for people like Hal Elrod, who not only get your downloads of such impactful information and training, but then they take it that step further and they step out of their fear and create bridges over obstacles and launch books and create videos and do all the things that then in turn help so many other people. We're going to focus these next few weeks on the miracle equation, and we are just thrilled that you have placed that in our path so that we can get in the habit of having unwavering faith and use extraordinary effort in order to advance your kingdom by doing what you have placed on our heart, what we're supposed to be doing, so that we can turn around and take it past just ourselves and our fear and our just ordinary mundane habits and the things that keep us stuck in the same place, and that we can create those everyday miracles to be in the right place at the right time and be what people would say is lucky. We know it's actually blessings that you are sending our way, because we are going to be prepared. We are going to be ready, and you are going to just infuse, and just the Holy Spirit is going to fill us and infuse us with the unwavering faith and the extraordinary effort. We ask for all these names, and we know that they are done because you said so. In Jesus' name we pray all of this. Amen. All right, you guys, I am so excited to see where we go with this. Take care and have a fabulous week. I'll talk to you soon.